Eventually daw po ba ay magkakaroon ng executive position si Kuya Boy? O yung show na?
Mag-a-apply ako po.
Tanong natin sa boss ko. Meron, yung kinikwento ni Kuya Boy. Yun ang una namin gagawin, yung kinikwento niya. Abangan nyo na lang. Kasi we're in the process pa of really hinihimay pa namin kung ano yung pinakamaganda na gawin, yung atake dun sa gagawin niyang ano. But he will of course do what he does best.
Na iba of course sa mga napapanood natin sa digital, sa social media.
Yes. But that doesn't mean that we do not have something on social media. We will. Definitely. It's going to be part of what we will offer.
Mag-a-apply ako po.
Tanong natin sa boss ko.
Di pero sasagutin ko yan, Gord. Kanina, when I met
Thanks,
executives, like, si Oli kasi has projects, no? If I can talk
Yes,
about
yes.
it. Meron siyang master classes. Ngayon, we had an exchange of text messages. At ang sabi ko nga, that one I'm interested in, yung kanyang master classes. Dahil maganda. At saka, noong, I was talking about how some master classes started in other institutions. Ano yun eh, yung, there's this book, it's called The Last Lecture. Actually, sa Philippine Women's University, I just did, November 26, I delivered, meron din silang series of lectures once a year, which is produced by the Alumni Association of the PWU. This year, I was chosen to deliver the lecture. Ang tawag nila lecture. Pero ang pinanggalingan yan ay isang libro na ang tawag ay The Last Lecture. The Last Lecture is done in Carnegie Mellon, which is a university famous for rocket science. Every year, ang mga estudyante at ang mga profesor ay nag-e-elect sila, nag-choose sila ng isang professor who would deliver the last lecture. Hypothetical yun. Halimbawa, if you were given a chance to do your last lecture, ano ang lecture mo at bakit? That book is about, its author is written by Randy Pausch. I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly. Nung siya'y napili na, that's supposed to be a badge of honor when you're chosen to deliver that lecture. Nung kanyang talka na, when he was supposed to do that lecture, instead of lecturing something that he discovered as a rocket scientist, he lectured on life. He lectured on love. He lectured on what it is to be a parent. Because the time that he was chosen to do the last lecture, he was dying. Yun yung inspirasyon. And when Oli started to talk about it, sabi ko, yung ganda yun. Tingnan natin kung ano ang... I'd like to be able to contribute to an engagement like that. That's my answer to that. Doon naman sa unang tanong, Gorgie, alam ko itatanong ito maya-maya, pero pupuntahan ko na. Ang hirap kasi sagutin, no? Yung, what can you offer that others are not doing? Alam natin lahat yun eh. We wanna be able to do, hinahanap mo yung, ano bang equity natin dito? Ano bang separator natin dito? Paano ba tayo maiiba? At lagi tayong nangangarap doon eh, na sana we will be able to do something that's different. We will. Hindi ako hiwalay doon sa linyang yun. Pero, katulad ng paliwanag ko nga kay Alan kanina, ano ba ang equity ko na hindi pwedeng mawala doon sa anumang show ang gagawin namin? That show must have an interview. Kailangan may interview. Paano maiiba yung interview na yan sa lahat ng mga interviews? Siguro may body of work will be able to show that. Pangalawa yung, hanggang ngayon, Borgie, nagbi-brainstorm kami nila RD, nagbi-brainstorm kami ng ano ba ang mga pwede pa natin magawa. Sabi ko, I'd like to be able to invent interview tools. I'd like to be able to discover interview styles. Katulad ng paglalaro ko ng konsepto ng Star Talk, ng Fast Talk, rather, how it came about until dumikit sa masang Pilipino, how I came about with the interview tool that I used on Star Talk, ang mahiwagang salamin.
Salamin, oo.
So, yun, doon kami ngayon, kaya sinasabi ni Lilibeth na we will be there, but hihimayin muna namin. Hihimayin muna namin. And then, alam namin yung gusto naming puntahan at nanggagaling din kami doon sa marami na nating karanasan sa paggawa ng talk show. Kaya ang hirap sabihin, 1, 2, 3. That's where she's coming from. And I am coming from. Hindi ko alam una kung sinong nagbigay sa akin ng title na yan. Would you have an idea? Hindi ko talaga alam kung saan nag-umpisa yun. It just came about many, many years ago. Hindi ko naman masyadong siniseryoso yun. You know, it's a title. Pero it's a strong brand, admittedly. It's a strong brand. So, ini-embrace ko yun. Pero, hindi ko hinahayaang pumasok yan sa ulo ko. Ako naman ang hari na walang reyna. You know what I'm saying. But the title has been
Kasi nga,
attached.
gusto mo rin maging reyna eh.
Gusto ko maging reyna. No, but it's a title that has been attached to your name. And you somehow work at it. You somehow work at it. Kaya hindi ako humihinto. Alam niyo, during COVID, ang ginawa ko, pinanood ko na pinanood ko na yata lahat ang mga talk shows. You know, I become familiar with Dick Cavett and all his interviews, Jon Stewart, to Zach Galifianakis. Mag-aaral ka eh. Mag-aaral ka para hindi makasabay. Ako, yung makasabay sa Agos, not necessarily. Mag-aaral ka dahil kailangan malaman mo kung saan ka pupwesto. So, now if you ask me, do I find myself relevant and even looking forward to how I'm going to play on these talk shows that I'm going to do for GMA 7? Oo. Pero ang sagot ko doon, alam mo, sa mga panahon na nagdududa ako kung anong halaga, lalo na tayo lahat. Because we are writers or interviewers, we are entertainment writers. There was this interview of Betty Davis and Dick Cavett. Years ago. Kasi di ba yung mga artista na parang, I don't need an interview. I mean, why should I do it? You know, I'm a professional actor. Trabaho ko is to act. Trabaho ko is, my work is to be an actor, to be an artist. I'm not supposed to sit down with anybody and tell you my private story. Imagine this issue has been answered in the 50s, in the 60s, in that particular interview between Dick Cavett and Betty Davis. Sabi ni Betty Davis, who is one of the most revered names in the industry, doon ako nagkalakas ng loob bilang writer, katulad ninyo, bilang talk show host. Sabi ni Betty Davis, you know, Dick, you know why I come to your show for interviews? Because my movies can only tell my public half of who I am as a professional artist, half of which you do for me. That's the role of entertainment writers. That's the role of interviewers like me. Because the stories of stars and movie actors, whether they agree or not, cannot be completed by their work alone. Kasama tayo doon.